Oh, this is the night. It's a beautiful night. And they call it, discographies.
Well, it almost works. Hello, disographers. Welcome back. He's a dog lover. He's a crooner. He can talk to dogs?
He's a talking to me.
Okay, he's a talking to you. Today, we're going to explore the life of the man who voiced Tony from Lady and the Tramp. You ready? Let's find out. Before we start, don't forget to check out our Discord, our coffee page, and like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, all the things. It really helps us out. George Givot was born in 1903 in what is today known as Dnipro, Ukraine. And if you didn't know this, don't worry, he didn't know this either. He was adopted when he was 3 years old by a French family with the last name Givot. When the family emigrated to the US in 1906, they settled into the French countryside of America, Omaha, Nebraska. This is where he first learned how to imitate an accent. As a boy, I worked in a Greek candy shop jerking sodas, says George in an interview with the Pittsburgh Press. There were 2 bosses and neither of them could understand me, so I set to mixing my English with their Greek and we got along swell. They later moved to Chicago, where Givot went to high school and college at Chicago University. He performed in and wrote school plays using all of his goofy skills, including scrambled Greek lingo. While at college, his night school journalism instructor became fed up with the class clown and sent him to see the man in charge of the midnight to 3 a.m. broadcasts at a radio station, and he was quickly hired. Paul Ash, an orchestra leader, composer, vaudeville personality, and recording artist, heard Givot perform and gave him his start in vaudeville. So see kids, ignore your parents and always stay up late. It could earn you a job. Givot entered show business as a comedian with the Ziegfeld Follies. His particular forte was mimicking a variety of ethnic dialects. Performing in vaudeville and in nightclubs, he scored an immediate hit with his comic creation, The Greek Ambassador of Goodwill, an English-fracturing Greek immigrant.
The Greek Ambassador of Goodwill, George Givot.
Gentlemen of the United Snaps, it is with a great knots of enthusiasm that I graze into your radiator faces through this microphone. As the Greek ambassador for goodwill, it is my duty. It is my double duty. In other words, it's my duty. To tell you what Mark Antony was said to Cleopatra when he visited her tent o'clock in the morning. Now, what do you suppose Mark Antony was said to Cleopatra when he visited her tent o'clock in the morning? Huh? You have to say something. He don't come to play Zin Rummy. He don't say like William Shakespeare's Hamlet, to be or not to you. He don't make cracks like that. He don't say, step up closer, the next guy might be barefooted. He don't make cracks like that. And he don't say like Vic Knight, day by eats and more by better I get less by day and more by night. He don't make cracks like that. Mark Antony was said to Cleopatra. He says, Cleo, I am a general in the Roman army, and I come here to roam around a little bit.
He took this character with him to radio when he debuted on the Eddie Cantor show in the early 1930s. George recalls, when folks thought they were hearing Benny Maroff, the orchestra leader, speaking broken English to Eddie, they were listening to me. I originated the Park Your Carcass stunt, having used it with Cantor in Florida. George hosted many radio programs, including George Givot's Acropolis No. 7 on CBS Radio in 1934 and The George Givot Show. Other radio programs that Givot appeared on were The Big Show, The Old Gold Show, and The Radio Circus. Later, he worked for some time on The Jimmy Durante Show. So many shows, so little airspace. Around the same time, he was appearing on Broadway. Unsurprisingly, his Broadway debut was in Earl Carroll's Sketchbook from 1929 to 1930. In 1931, George appeared in a very, let's say, controversial role in The Constant Sinner, starring Mae West. When Mae West wrote the play The Constant Sinner, she wanted to cast African-American Lorenzo Tucker as her character's black lover. This would have been extremely controversial in the segregation-era United States of the 1930s, so she reluctantly agreed to have Givot perform in blackface instead. The producers insisted that Givot remove his wig at the end of every performance to show the audience he was white. In other words, The Constant Sinner ran on Broadway for 64 performances from September to November 1931. George and Ira Gershwin were hired to showcase English music hall star Jack Buchanan in Pardon My English. When Buchanan was unable to convincingly play half of his double role, the lower-class German thug Golo Schmidt, he was replaced by Givot. Givot and Josephine Houston introduced the Gershwin song Isn't It a Pity in the 1933 Broadway musical. Pardon My English was a flop and soon closed. By the end of the 1930s, Givot had intended to settle down as a gentleman farmer on his estate in Tarzana, California. However, a messy marital breakup and debts incurred in a failed business venture forced him back into the acting profession, albeit mostly in dramatic parts. His aptitude as a dialectician continued to be put to good use in Road to Morocco as Neb Jola in 1942.
I drink to my friend who was my enemy, and to the eternal peace that has come between us.
I drink to that, and also to the beauty of my bride-to-be. My apologies, O great sheik. It's an accident. There must be a hole in the goblet.
Yes, I see there is. I trust you do not do this as a joke, do you?
Oh, my friend. My very dear friend.
And Behind the Rising Sun as the hardy Russian newspaperman Boris in 1943.
1930, they shoot Prime Minister Amaguchi. 1932, they get Inui, Barandan, Inukai. 1936, the works. Watanabe, Saito, Takahashi. A clean sweep.
He even starred in Flying with Music as Harry Bernard in 1942.
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît. Wrong country.
I dream of Jeannie with a light brown hair, born like a vapor, sweet somewhere. I see her.
Yes, but I have not.
Well, I guess I'm still on the payroll.
In 1944, Givot took time out from the movies to return to Broadway in the Cole Porter musical Mexican Hayride. Here he met his future second wife, co-star Dorothy Durkee. Fun fact, Al Hirschfeld drew a caricature of Givot and others in the cast. Moving to television in 1949, Givot was the original host of the Bonnie Maid Versatile Varieties television series. In the 50s, he returned to film in productions such as Captain Pirate, April in Paris, The Racers, and Ain't Misbehavin', for which he played the Greek boatman.
Miss Hatfield, I miss you. Where do you keep yourself?
Save the dialect, Andy. Native.
Glad to have you aboard, sir. You have the run of the ship.
Thanks.
Let's go.
Also around this time, he continued his career in television with guest roles on a number of television shows, starting with My Little Margie in 1952 and moving to shows like The Mickey Rooney Show, Climax, General Electric Theater, Damon Runyon Theater, the Eddie Cantor Comedy Theater, and the Ford Television Theater, most of which debuted in 1955. 1955 also debuted one of George Givot's most famous roles.
What's this? Hey, Joe, look! Butchie, he's got a new girlfriend.
Well, son of a gun, he's got a cockerel Spanish girl.
She's pretty sweet kiddo, Butch. You take Tony's advice and settle down with this one, eh?
Not only did George provide the speaking voice for Tony, he also sang the flagship love song of the film, Bella Notte, which went on to become one of the more memorable songs of the film.
Oh, this is the night, it's a beautiful night, and we call it Bella Notte. Look at the skies, they have stars in their eyes, on this lovely Bella Notte.
1956 proved to be the last big year of George's career. He appeared on television in programs including The People's Choice, as well as 3 films, including Miracle in the Rain playing the head waiter.
I got a son in the army, your age.
Well, it's a big army.
I haven't heard from him for a month. They're pretty slow delivering those letters from over there now. He volunteered the first week for paratroopers. I said to him, what do you want to be a jumper for? So he tells me, Pop, you might as well know my secret. I never liked walking.
The Girl Can't Help It playing Lucas, an uncredited role. In 1957, he performed in Blondie on the small screen and China Gate on the big screen as Corporal Pigalle.
Me Pigalle? Because I was a gendarme in Paris, a traffic cop. That's what I was. My station was Place Pigalle. You know, the one you GIs call Pig Alley. There I stood all day long, king of the street, stopping that car, waving this one to go. Stop, go, stop, go. I blew my whistle till my lips could not enjoy a glass of wine. It was driving me crazy.
And in 1958, he played some small roles in Date with the Angels and How to Marry a Millionaire. He also appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show twice in 1958, on May 11th and July 27th. As a last hurrah, he returned to where he started, the live stage, in the Broadway production of Do Re Mi, which ran from 1960 to 1962. And folks, don't we love a full circle moment? George Givot retired around the age of 59 and died of a heart attack in 1984 in Palm Springs, California. Although a lot more of his prominent roles are shadowed by racism, George Givot was very good at what he did. He was a professional, intelligent man with not only a talent for accents, but also a beautiful singing voice, which we end with now.
Side by side with your loved one, you'll find an enchantment here.
Thank you to these people for supporting us on Patreon and Ko-fi. And if you want to make sure this channel sticks around, you can check out our Ko-fi link in the description. Every bit helps. Thank you for watching this episode of Discographies. Click the thumbs up button below if you liked it. And if you want to be notified when the next episode comes out, consider subscribing and hitting the bell. Comment below with characters you would like to see us cover. Further reading and references are linked below. We hope to see you in another Discography.